welcome to Talking
Then what the
Famous
fuck is
People.
that background noise?
I don't know.
Who is it? Who's making background
I think
noise?
Zachary. Wait, no, that's not
No, it's
fucking
not me.
Zachary. I was
House is
just
dead as
looking
shit
at
right now, bro.
host Eric.
Alright, welcome to Talking Famous People. I am the host of Talking Famous People, Zachary, the INTP. We have the host of Talking Famous People, Eric, the ENTP, or the INFP in this video. We
From
have
now on,
famous
really.
person Patrick, famous person Lindy, your head. We have famous person Eric. We have famous person Lawrence. We have famous person Hayden, and we have famous person Unify. All right, what are we doing?
We're doing 8 dominant functions. We got 8 people here. I've taken FI. Zach's gone TI. I'm going to go first to demo what I think would be a good length. About 2 minutes, 3 minutes on this thing, okay? So I got to time it.
Am
I got my
not gonna
timer right here. Got my timer. I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock. 1, 2, 3. Time starts now. Introverted feeling. As an INFP personality type, I am deeply familiar with introverted feeling. I live it every day. And I'll tell you what it feels like. It mostly feels like the squishy stuff. It's just kind of the squishy stuff, and it's mostly in this area. But it'll move sometimes up into the shoulder region or down into the stomach region. You can tell when you're experiencing introverted feeling because it tends to make you a little bit gassy. And that'll happen. If you think it has to do with your diet, it might, because diet and introverted feeling have a lot to do with one another. A lot of things have a lot to do with introverted feeling. For example, if somebody says I'm wrong about something, I'm able to know that they're wrong because my feelings tell me so. And so I live in a world where I can be certain about things that a lot of people simply just don't know about. They can't be certain about. And that's one of the advantages of being an INFP. Some of these intellectual types will come to me and they will attempt to use what they call reason. But I explain to them, look, I know what reason is. It's 1 part feeling and 1 part crazy. And that, my friends, is introverted feeling. Next, we have another cognitive function. Who's going to go next?
I will
Zachary
go now.
All right, fine. Zachary, go.
TI. Okay. Well, TI is a function that operates under a simple premise of logical consistency. So TI is constantly refining information that's pulled to it by either uh, the coupled with the perceiving function, so intuition or sensing, and it exists to logically categorize the information it receives into a cohesive system that makes logical sense to the user of the TI. Ways in which TI can manifest in a negative sense is that it doesn't always translate well to the outside world. There is a conscious effort that has to be used to incorporate real-world variables and facts into the TI, but it can be applied when the effort's made. When 2 TI users are exposed to the same information and come to different conclusions, there can be a level of tension and dissonance between the TI users because they cannot rationalize how the other one came to the conclusion, a conclusion that was different than them, and usually can cause a lot of discord between the 2 TI types. Um, TI is objectively the best function to use in MBTI, and I think that it should be prioritized, and there should be a hierarchy put in place where if you were to categorize the level of value of each MBTI type, at the top you'd have your INTPs, your ISTPs, then you'd have your ENTPs, your ENFPs. No, wait, no ENFPs. No, wait, never. Wait.
It's all the way down to the second slot for us.
ESTPs.
So, we're second-tier people. It's completely understandable.
Yeah, and I think that I think that FI users have brought themselves. They dominate. They're overrepresented in our establishments and our institutions. And I think the best thing we can do as TI users is to retake our establishments and institutions, perhaps by force, and we should ostracize the FI users. Uh,
You, sir, are making me feel sad, and that's not okay.
Needs a safe place.
how much longer I have left?
You're done. I wasn't timing you.
Oh my god.
Who's next? Who's
Can I do
next?
FE?
I'll go.
Yeah,
Okay.
FP? You're gonna do FP or FE?
FE.
All right, head, you
The,
got it.
the FP function.
Is there an FE function?
Famous person function. All right, go ahead. FE, go.
Okay.
It's the famous person function.
FE. I don't know much about FE. I don't like FE. So to me, FE looks like I see that you look uncomfortable or that you don't want to deal with your emotions. So I'm going to make you deal with your emotions. And I'm going to bug you until you don't, because you're going to feel the emotions that I know are in there. And I'm going to figure out what they are. That's what FE looks like to me. I don't know.
Is that as it's applied to you, you mean?
Yes, as it is applied to me. As that is an FE user trying to talk to an INTP.
Right.
Hmm.
If it's high enough in the stack. If it's high enough in the stack, that's for sure.
Yeah, like a
they do
dominant
think-
FE user.
Yeah. And FE users, they tend to think like, that you have to, surely you must prioritize emotions as much as they do. All right, who's next?
I'll do extroverted thinking.
All right, cool. That's a tough one.
A collection of facts.
Yeah.
The end.
Real tough. Exactly. Extroverted thinking is essentially boils down to I am right and you're wrong because I see that this works and this has produced before and therefore it is correct. I have no other explanation besides that, but it works. So we're done here. And you, INTP, who keeps questioning my methods because my theoretical basis for my conclusions are not sound, you need to leave my presence. because this clearly works, okay? I've seen it work on like 5 people, and in my experience I've never experienced anything else, so therefore it is correct. And
Okay, I mean,
that is essentially extroverted thinking in a nutshell.
And
Yeah.
for the love of God, will you take that ENTP out of here?
Can I add a point?
Yes.
Because the ground is flat, therefore the entire Earth is flat.
There you go.
DJ.
Extroverted
Is that-
thinking.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's logic. That is logic right there.
Yeah. Wow. See, we don't ENTPs. We don't go in and go. I don't like the theoretical underpinning of this. We go. You seem bossy. I don't like you. And then we start fucking with all their shit. I don't like you. You're bossy. Fuck you. That's the ENTP way.
How the INTPs deal with it with you're wrong, but I don't know how yet, and then they go along and they'll still theorize and they compile a bunch of information and they fucking blow the EXTJ out of the fucking water.
They
when
come
don't
back
least
and
expect
they
it.
come back and they're like, check out this argument, I proved you wrong, and then like they present them with this like document, this like 10-page document. The ESTJ looks at it and it's like, well, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing, the entire time. And
Yeah, but does it work though? That's always
but does it work though? Does it
Readings
work?
in
You know
though?
he's an ENTJ. I found out Kunkel's an ENTJ, and when I discovered that he took the test, if you watch that video type with Kunkel, anyway, he was hard to figure out what he was, but it makes perfect sense now because he's super high achieving. I can tell he's annoyed by my lack of protocols and consistency, because an ENTP-run business is not built on protocols. It's built on what the fuck I feel like doing right now. That's what it's built on.
It's built on sand.
But he's so respectful of the way things are that he never says anything. He just is like, "Wow, this is great. I'm gonna do my best within this system." But you can tell. And he said something. He said it to me. I made these jokes to him this morning. He's like, "Yeah, well," kind of like muttered, "Man, if I were in charge of this thing, I'm sure it'll be a fucking boot camp around here." But see, I mean, it's just boot camping for me. It's just more fun. That's what I think. Because it's boot camping for natural reasons. I get mad at him.
Will you allow me to derail the conversation? I want to know how ENI manifests in ENTPs, Eric.
I want to finish this other thing we were doing first, because before I already derailed it. Thank you for underailing it and trying to derail it someplace else, but let's derail it someplace else afterwards. Let's go to the next person.
Alright, Hayden, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, you get S-I. You get S-I.
S-I. Alright, so I'm not that familiar with all the types that well, really. But SI, I'm an INTP actually. I'm pretty sure I am. I mean, I've done like a year of research and whatnot. But
Sounds you're the only one here. You're the only
yes.
INTP here.
so, yeah, SI. I see SI in a few different ways. I see it work really well just day to day, the general tasks. I think I use it a lot at work. Just muscle memory and repetition, but also in memories, of course. How do I go about this? SI is
Hey, Eric, could you mute your mic?
Yeah, I will. Sorry.
Cool.
Alright, someone needs to help me out here.
SI.
SI. It's well, see, I know how it relates to TI, but like, so basically, SI manifests as like sort of a collection of. It's like a sense of like. Well, as Eric described
Collection
it.
of morals, almost.
Wait, what is it?
Like almost a collection of morals and memories that make you um
Well, we
It's
said
the
is
self
it
in time. It's the self in time.
Elaborate.
So
in time.
it's like your little objects like your wallet and keys and your phone and stuff. Like remember to keep track of these things, and then also it's like your schedule. Keep track of your schedule. It's your body, yourself in time. And Essie's like, what in the world are you guys talking about down there?
Japanese women.
Yeah, whatever I was saying. That stuff.
Alright, next cognitive function. We butchered the shit out of that one. Okay. Lorenz, you get NE.
Okay. I see NE as I see it as making connections. Not too sure.
Right. NE, give us NE. I mean, I know you're an FI user and all, but
Well, from my FI perspective, I call NE the thing that compels you, if there's something serious, to make a joke about it. You just have no choice. It doesn't matter what the fuck it is. When I used to try to coach dramatic interpretation, I could not get more than like 1 minute of coaching into it before I was like, you know what, you should make like these funny sounds with it and stuff. And it'd be like some piece about like cancer child dying or something, and I'd be like, you should totally play this for laughs. You know, it's just like, that's NE, okay? Playing the cancer child piece for laughs is NE. It's not cool or anything. It's kind of like, I don't know. So what it is it's this. It's like, yeah. You guys don't understand. If you have TI in the first slot, it's easy to understand how you might use NE. If you have NE in the first slot, you're not really driving the bus, you know?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, you're a perceiving dom.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Driving a rocket ship.
What's the
Constant stimuli.
specific phrasing you used in the your ENTP like function video where you say something along the lines of like you've got all the tools that are necessary to be equipped with, like you got all of them, but then you're led by like a drunken guy or some shit, right?
Yeah, I gotta put a drunk guy in charge of leading us around places. It's true. I mean, when I drove home, when I was driving home from the tournament this morning, I stopped at 4, 5, 6 different places that I thought were interesting, and I go like, ooh, and I just pull over. Now, I wouldn't necessarily do this if I was on a tight time schedule. I didn't plan to stop at these places on the way home. I planned to go straight home.
Yeah, if I'm going home, I'm going home.
That's NE.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's because you don't have any in the dominant
I
slot.
plan to go home, so I'm going home.
I'm going home
Oh,
now.
but I get.
Yeah. This is what I plan to do.
I go home and I'm going to process my emotions. When I
By
get home.
Even
watching
if you see a weird Chinese-looking building, I got this video of this weird Chinese-looking building today.
Oh, man.
It's like Oriental, like old-school Oriental looking, like made to look Chinesey, but not really Chinese.
Never urges.
And it had
me
an
to
old pet
sit
store on it called Lee's Pet Store.
Lee's pet store.
Unify. NI. Give it to us.
Unify. Yes, unify. Enlighten us.
Oh boy.
Say something productive for once, Unify.
Wait, should I put the chat into the window here?
Yeah, you're gonna be all crude. We'll see.
Try to leave Japanese women out of your explanation of NI Unify.
Wait a minute. I don't even know if I can get the chat. Yeah, it's not popping up. What the fuck?
I can read it. I can read it
Yeah,
off.
somebody read the explanation.
I can read off his explanation.
You read it off then, Patrick.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you do his
All right,
voice.
don't make me say anything stupid, Unify. Okay? It's empathy on the inside.
NI?
Yeah, NI. It's empathy on the inside. Good enough.
Okay.
Wow. Well, this is a really well-informed video. We
I mean,
should
I can
sticky
say- I can
this on the
say-
front page of Talking Famous.
I can talk about my experience with NI.
Okay.
Go for it.
It's just a knowing. It's like I use NI a lot when I'm doing stream of consciousness writing, where basically my thoughts go out into the keyboard, and I know that they are right. Like if I want to say it's kind of like feeling, but it's not quite the same. Maybe it is, but it's like when I'm typing words, they feel like the right words to type. They are exactly the right words I want to type. And I look at the things I've written, and I just actually fuck, dude. I don't know how to explain this shit.
You're actually right on the money, though.
Okay, I was on the money. Okay, I'm gonna keep going then.
Text
Let the
has
NI
that
guide
quality
you.
to
Okay, I had like a spiritual journey one time where it's like I just went out and started walking, and like every action I did was like guided by something outside of myself, and yet it felt like the exact right thing to do. Like I'd walk over to some steps, and it would
I've had
feel
that
like the right thing to
experience.
do. I'd walk over here, I'd think a thought. It's just like this stream of almost like awareness of something outside yourself.
I've had that experience. That makes me wonder if that's an NI thing or not. Like, I've had the experience of almost like you stop and you feel almost like an implicit connection to something greater than yourself, like you said, like a relation. There's like a relational
I,
aspect to it.
Maybe it's different if you feel connected. Maybe that's NE. Because I don't feel like
Ah.
connected to anything. I feel like almost like disconnected, like I'm doing my own thing. I don't
Oh,
know.
It's
I
your
feel connected.
personal. It's
Zach, can you describe any from an INTP perspective or your perspective?
NE would be like if I engage in NE, that's when I take the strands of information that I have, the artifacts of information within me, and that's when I start to view the possibilities in which they can manifest, right? So if I'm doing internal NE, then I'm visualizing ways in which different ideas can come together based on different artifacts of information and running it through my TI to see if it's logically cohesive. Where NE manifests externally, it's kind of like what I'm doing right now, where I'm understanding different ideas within me about concepts of what NE is and verbalizing them. NE also can manifest in like where I mentioned earlier when we weren't recording that I was a musician. I'm not, were you in here? I'm not sure, but uh, improvisation I think can NE can really help with improvisation. But it also kind of manifests where it's kind of hit or miss. It's almost like shotgunish, like with when it comes to like recording songs and whatnot. NE also manifests in in conversation. I think it's really helpful to be able to pick apart what people are saying, and I'm aware that I'm utilizing any. I'm aware that I'm engaging in new experiences and
100%.
different information. Wait, what?
100%.
You agree with what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, I agree with you.
But
Yeah.
does it work though?
No, it does not.
So what type would TE be with any INFP?
Mm,
Sorry?
yeah. What?
INFPs have NE and TE, right?
Yeah.
the thing about I find it to be as simple as this, really, which is um, knowing what the good parts are. So if I'm any freestyling something, I might freestyle 5 or 6 minutes of song, but I'll know. Oh yeah, there was that one good part there in the middle. That was the one good piece of this.
Mm.
How do I know that? That's introverted intuition, and that took a long time coming. That didn't start like that.
Hmm.
That's what I think.
Did we get all? We got through all
Did
of
we
them,
get all
right?
the functions?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
We didn't get
We should
SE.
stop this.
Extroverted
Oh.
something.
We didn't get SE.
It's like I got punched in the face, bitch. It's SC.
Who was supposed to do SE?
I'll do SE. Because I don't think
Or
if
who
people
didn't
are.
do one yet? Did everybody do one?
I didn't do one. Well, I did NI. I took over NI because Unify couldn't stop talking about little Japanese women. So
Do us SE.
So,
All right. Well,
okay,
Japanese women notwithstanding, tell us about SE.
what?
So tell us about SE.
Okay, the way I see SE is it's the ultimate needs fulfilling function. So like humans, like at every point in time, they have like a set of needs. Like I have the need to be comfortable right now. I have the need for social connection. I have the need to not like be temperate. You know, all these things. And SE is focused on looking around the room or wherever you're in and finding exactly what to do right now to get whatever needs you want met. And so this is why ESTPs and ESFPs, they're so focused on getting their needs met right now that they suppress introvert intuition, which is looking, looking at things outside the environment right now. And this is why INFJs and INTJs are, they can't see right in front of them what to do to get their needs met. They're so focused on everything else. But I mean, otherwise, it's just literally just what you see through your senses.
Is that why SE doms get more chicks?
Yeah, probably. I mean that's a stereotype, so I disagree. Like all of them are like that, but like ESTPs and
I feel like
ESFPs.
my brother's an ESTP, and he's just the embodiment of like hedonism, just the fucking embodiment of that shit. Like it's
Yeah.
just constant like seek of instant gratifying pleasure. Like not, there's no like consideration of anything else, and it's like that's what brings him joy. That's just like
That's
it
exactly the
genuinely,
same as my brother.
yeah,
Yeah.
it genuinely brings him fulfillment, which is so foreign to me.
And yeah, and then they
Yep.
suffer from introvert intuition inferior, where just all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my God, there's so much more to reality than this fucking cheeseburger," like, and they just don't know how to handle it.
So true.
Yeah, that's America. Fucking correct.
I feel
Now, you don't know how good that cheeseburger is. Alright? So let's not to the conclusions. It can be really good.
Burger, but religion, grandiose visions, etc. Those are pretty good too.
you think what later
Yeah.
in life
Everyone
when
likes
they're
that.
you think later in life when their ENI becomes more developed, that's why you see a lot of them, or a lot of people will, I guess it would be ESCPs and stuff, ESFPs. They'll trade their materialistic lifestyle for a more stationary, like divine, higher purpose type of thing.
Well, my brother's an ESFP, and he's just been doing security work and mostly security and bodyguard type work. And he's like 23, and he's recently just started wanting to become a mechanic. He's always doing stuff. He spends his money on cars. He spends his money on just his new thing. He's just constantly spending money. So I'm hoping
Yeah,
now that he
like almost
gets
like
to a
impulse
point where
trading and buying, you know?
it is 100% constant, always impulse. Just it's ridiculous. It makes me sad that he's not he's just wasting time almost.
I
Well,
know,
How I
and
feel.
the thing
see,
is, that's the bad side. The good side is like if they have the impulse to all of a sudden make like a fuck ton of money, they'll just spend like so much of their life force achieving that goal. Like they're like running at a door with a giant battering ram, just knocking down shit.
I think
Yeah.
ESXPs are the sell your car for gas money type.
The what?
They're the sell your car for gas money type.
Yeah.
Let's end on that note.
Well,
INFP hate, ESXP hate, ESXJ hate, or
We pretty much
EXTJ hate.
hated every type that we couldn't, and we hated half the types and the other half of the functions we just couldn't explain correctly.
If you have TI
Except
in
for
your
well, I'm
TI.
not
stack,
invited.
you're
I'm
alright.
not invited to this picture, you guys. Only you guys are invited to this picture. It's for IXTPs only. This particular hut right there. If you want to stay in that hut, you got to be an IXTP.
Let's do it.
Yay.
Basically, if you don't have FI in your stack, you're alright. Thanks
If
for
you
watching
have
Talking
FI
with
in your
Famous
stack,
People.
fuck off.
Thanks for
No, but
watching
at the
Talking
same
with
time,
Famous
I
People.
love FI.
Yeah,
I
end it
absolutely
on that note.